King Price Insurance, the fastest growing insurance company in Namibia. This morning, I'm joined in the studio live and loud by Popyeni Kaxuxwena, who is from Let's Work Corporate Group or Commercial Group. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Shay. Good morning, all the listeners out there. Glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, I follow you on social media.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm always up to date on what's happening and so on. But today we're celebrating you as a power player in your career and what you have done throughout your work and how you are attaching that to community work and giving growth to the Namibian youth as well.
I was born in Zambia. I'm one of those struggle kids.
Yes, the Zula is real.
But grew up a Windoka really. I've been here since primary school, high school, all the way to tertiary education. And after that, sort of my career started off as a waiter actually at Grand Canyon Spur, and then moved my way from there. I think I take that as a career because, you know, understanding the importance of money and the importance of how to save and, you know, it allowed me sort of like to open my mind in terms of, because it also, Spur literally just paid my high school and paid my tertiary education. Yeah.
Wow.
And through that I went to DHL where I worked as a customer service agent and went all the way up until the commercial manager. And so right now, as it stays, I'm currently working on my own. I've got my own business called Let's Work Commercial Group. A lot of things happening there. I think it was my main hustle.
Main hustle at the time,
because back then I was still in school. I started working as a waiter in grade 9.
In grade 9 already?
And already in grade 9, I sort of like, Spur taught me the value of money. So I knew very well that I needed these tips to be able to pay for education, to be able to save, to be able to also look smart and get that swagger on.
But it's like the thing, the Vantuk thing. Like if you are in high school and you're looking for a waitressing job, then you would go straight to Spur.
Correct.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I don't think. Look, I think waitering is. I think a lot of times we underlook a waiter's job. And a waiter's job is actually very, very critical because it's a need. It's a need in terms of, you know, in terms of people wanting assistance. Because basically a waiter means, don't do it, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Tell me what you want and I get it for you.
That's right.
And it's an entry level for anybody, you know, for anyone that's starting off, just in terms of also teaching yourself how to be disciplined, how to take orders, how to give orders, how to suggest things. And that's something, customer service is so important, and it starts from there. So imagine a young child, you know, going as a waiter, you know, starting off a job as a waiter. When you grow up from there, you now have an understanding what the world demands of you from a customer service. Well, funny enough, I think I grew up in an era where the hip hop genre was just starting. You know, not really starting, but it was ripe. You know, it was coming up. But funny enough, though I followed all the rappers and I followed all the entertainment, I actually wanted to be the man behind. I wanted to be a contributor in terms of being a producer or being a writer or being a record label owner. I followed the likes of L.A. Reid, who was LaFace Records. I followed Berry Gordy. You know, the guys that really were behind the scene. I never wanted to be in front of the scene. So really, I wanted to be in the entertainment from a behind the scene perspective. No, actually not. You know, I struggle a lot with reading. In terms of I was a slow reader, and also I wasn't very good at math. I didn't like reading at all. But the only thing, the difference with me is that I worked hard.
Yeah,
I worked hard and I understood the value of education, what it would mean for me. So if anybody knows this, if you were at Polytech below 2015 downward, you will know room 207. That's the room that we struggled. We stayed there. We slept in there when on exams time. So I think from there on, I sort of like, I knew that I had to work hard. I struggled to work hard, but I made it.
But you made it. That's right.
First of all, Let's Work is actually, it has been a side hustle for me for a very long time. I've, in all my posts on social media, I always end it off with Let's Work. I believe in work. I believe in the ability to wake up and do something. I don't believe in stagnation. I don't believe in just being idle. And so, a friend of mine, so basically what was happening is that I had, like I said, it was a side hustle for me when I worked in corporate Namibia. So I had SME friends of mine that will come to me and ask me, listen, how do I set up my company? How do I set up interviews? How do I set up my workflow? So Popyeni, please, can you guys come help and train my people or speak to these people? So when I started doing that, I started doing it on the side, and it was actually paying off. People were willing to pay me for it. So when the opportunity rose this year, when I left my corporate job around March time, it just so happens because I left my job on a Thursday. The Friday, I already got someone asking me, listen, I have this job for you. Can you do it? And I immediately went out to my business partner and said, listen, this is the idea that I want to put up. And he was like, let's open up the company.
Let's work.
Then let's work open. From then on, we we're actually starting off. It's still baby steps, but I think we made strive in terms of because we focus on training and development. We train on customer service. We train on sales skills.
And with your skills and background in DHL, which is such an international brand with those skills intact, it would be just the right person to go to.
Rightly so, because I always say, I think my previous corporate job, I think the theme, we always had this theme of act local and think global.
That's right.
And I think when we talk to SMEs about that, it opens up their minds.
That's right.
They say, you know what, nobody ever actually thinks like that. Because when you imagine this, you open up a hair boutique, a share hair boutique. So the first thing that you think about is, when I open up this hair boutique, my first stock, I need my friends, my cousins, my sisters to buy from me, and then I can make a profit. But in actual fact, you should be thinking that, I'm opening up this business and I want to branch out in Tanzania, in Kenya. If you already think global, but you're acting local in terms of your skills, in terms of the product that you're selling is local, but then you're already thinking that you can provide this global perspective, it opens up your mind and it allows you to think and also be creative.
That's right.
Perseverance. I think perseverance has always helped me out. Also determination as well. I think more importantly, for me is it's about, putting in the work and also being creative. Be surrounded by people that actually are creative, that have fresh new ideas, people that can advise you from a business perspective. And success to me is only two things for me. It's knowing and understanding.
That's right.
Let me break it down for you. So knowing is, for example, if you made your targets, if your target is to make 20,000 per week, now recognizing that you made your target is knowing. That's already a success, that you recognize it. Now understanding, what did you do to make that target? And more importantly, what's your next step? Do you maintain it? Or where do you go from here? For me, that knowing and understanding is success. Because once you know and understand, you can't fall back.
That's right. That's right.
Sure, I think right now, more than anything, I think I want to speak from a Africa perspective, because for a long time, I think Africa was known as that dark continent where people only come here to hunt. And that has changed. That has changed dramatically where, Africa countries used to be landlocked. Now we are land-linked. And what that means is basically that what we're doing in Namibia, we should be able to export or import talent. More so from a Namibia perspective, we need to be able to export talent. So right now, as it is, there's a lot of young people coming up with business ideas. SME is booming in Namibia. It's the brain behind. The government should look at SME. Excuse me, sorry. It's no longer about corporate Namibia waiting for the government to give us money. It's about looking at what are the if you think about it, if you go, for example, I took a tour down to Kasi Vibe during the day, and you look at the stands, the stalls of people doing business. Forget about the alcohol part or the food part. Just think about what people are doing, what the young people are doing. There's so much happening at the moment.
That's right.
So much happening, and I think I'm excited about Namibia because young people are now thinking. I believe that this economic crisis that we're sort of facing is not an economic crisis, it's an economy opportunity. So right now there's people thinking, going against the norm of, go to NIPAM, or not NIPAM, but what's a company that registers businesses? BIPA.
Yes.
Young people are opening up businesses. Okay?
That's right.
And they just need opportunities. So I'm very excited of what's going to happen. I'm excited about Africa. If you know, if you don't know this year marks 400 years. Ghana is celebrating slavery this year, 400 years of slavery. It actually means what they're saying is that it's the first ship that sailed out of Africa was 400 years ago this year. So what Ghana is doing something remarkable. So what they're saying now is they themed that as all ships lead back to Africa.
That's right.
You can follow Let's Work Commercial Group on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter, Let's Work G. And obviously, you can also follow myself, Popyeni Kaxuxwena. Just link me up. Find me on Google me.
Thank you so much for joining us and coming through.
I appreciate it.
And thank you for being a power player and encouraging, motivating others to follow suit and just follow follow through the walls that you are breaking down as you continue. And yes, we will be local and think global.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and we really look forward to coming back here and share more thoughts. Please,
there you have it.
Reach out.
The Royal Hustles brought to you by King Price Insurance, the fastest growing insurance company in Namibia, hustling their way to the top and celebrating those who do so too. SMS King to 31989 for a quote.